I want to talk to you about what is history and why you should study history. And I'm Dr. Daryl. I teach in the Arts and Education Department here. I'm a history instructor. Now, a lot of people love history and hate history. And the people who hate history, I'm pretty sure, were just taught poorly, or they've been given the wrong idea about what we do. So a lot of people will react this way when I talk to them about the importance of the past. History is the past, I live in the present, and I have a plan for the future. I don't have to do anything with the past. What happened 300 years ago can't possibly matter to me, because I'm not going to ever live in that time. I have to worry about now, and I have to worry about the future. And it's easy to dismiss history because there's a sense that history professors are people who look like this, working in places like this, creating things that look like this. Ever given decline and fall of the Roman Empire. It's a famous, famous history book. It's incredibly, incredibly dull. It's about 1,000 pages all talking about why Rome collapsed. But when you look at the book, it doesn't grab you. Or we create timelines. This is the sense of what historians do, that we want to create big, long lists of dates and facts, and that's what we're interested in. But reducing history to dates and facts is like saying literature is dull because it's just letters in the alphabet. It's far more than that. We're interested in the dynamic element. We're interested in how things change. Why is it important to learn? Why is it important to know it? What's the value in it? And certainly, you live in an age where information is overwhelming. I mean, how many of you have cell phones that can get on the internet? Several of you do. We're bombarded by information today. There's no question. More than you could possibly ever learn. You see a lot of people feel overwhelmed by it. And so that seems daunting enough, this mountain of information. But then what about the huge chunk below the waterline? Because like an iceberg, the past is a lot bigger than what you see on top in the present. And also like an iceberg, you ignore the bottom part at your own peril, as we were so vividly reminded 100 years ago. Titanic did that. And I'm talking about learning from history. Nobody else has ever claimed their ship was unsinkable. They learned that the first time. It's not a good idea. But I see now they're building Titanic 2. How many of you would sail on a ship called Titanic 2? Want to take that chance? The first one sunk, 1,200 people killed. How many of you want to get on the second one? Yeah. And if there's an Australian businessman who's betting people are going to. And it's going to look exactly like the old ship with a few minor changes. Talk about tempting fate. So what is it historians do then? We try to connect the past to the present. That's why we're not just about lists of facts. We're trying to understand how the past led to the present. Why we made the decisions we did. That's what we're trying to understand, the why. Why did we do what we did? Why did we get where we are? How did we do this? For example, why is it called Rycroft? Is that a story any of you?
My friend, her grandpa's name is Rycroft. His last name is Rycroft. And so, they named it after him, I think, because they pulled names out of a hat.
That's the story. That's right. He put his name in with 3 other people, and Rycroft won. And so they called the town Rycroft after one of the first 4 families there. Why does that matter? What if somebody ever came along and wanted to change the name? Since I got a little bit of time, I can. Do you all know what a swastika is? Yeah. Okay. Would it surprise you to learn this? What do you associate with the swastika? What's the swastika?
I guess it's like a symbol of Germans.
The Germans and the Nazis.
Yeah.
So it's usually held up as it's an evil kind of symbol when it's used in the German context. Would it surprise you to learn there's a town in Canada called Swastika? And then during World War II, when we were fighting Hitler, there were a lot of people who said, why don't we change the name of the town? Why do we still have a town named Swastika in Ontario? And the town refused to change. Because they said, look, the name has nothing to do with Hitler. We got our name because there was a British aristocrat who had come over who helped set up the community, and this was a personal symbol of his. It has nothing to do with Hitler, and they refused to change the name. The government actually went out in, I don't know if it was quite the middle of the night, but they went and changed all the signs in the town. Changed the name to Churchill, much more patriotic name in World War II, Winston Churchill, great British leader. The town refused because they knew their past, they knew it had nothing to do with Hitler, and they said, no, this is our name and we're keeping it. So these stories matter to us, and recovering lost stories, therefore, is another big part of what we do. We want to make sure that we understand. And some of it's just interesting anecdotes, the things people have done in the past, the things they tried, the things that didn't work, the things that did work. We try to learn from that and we build on that.